The 17-year-old accused of fatally stabbing a Texas student athlete during a track meet allegedly admitted to the crime. Now, he also asked officers if his actions could be considered self-defense. That is according to a newly released arrest report. On Wednesday morning, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, a junior at Memorial High School in Frisco, Texas, was at a track meet. Police said a student from Centennial High School in Frisco, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, stabbed Metcalf in the chest during a fight. Anthony was arrested, now charged with first-degree murder, and is being held in the Collin County Jail on a $1 million bond.
Hey, yo, what's goody? Thank you for checking out another episode. I am your host, Wavy. Still here, still going to be pumping out these videos. Had to take a week and some change off. Wifey had some trips planned for us, so that's what I've been doing. Now I'm back home in the base. You know, been keeping up with stories, including this one out of Frisco, Texas, where you have two teenagers whose, I mean, this whole thing is a tragedy. Their lives are ruined. You have Austin Metcalf, who ended up losing his life as a result of it all. And I guess that there was some dispute over seats at a track meet. At some point during the altercation, Karmelo Anthony pulls out a knife and proceeds to stab Austin Metcalf in his heart, and he ends up dying as a result of his wounds. First, let me say rest in peace to Austin Metcalf. Prayers and condolences for his family. This was something senseless that didn't need to take place, and now it's on social media, taking on a life of its own, given the optics of it. Because of the race element in this situation, you have people online comparing everybody to this, all right? I'm seeing people comparing this to George Floyd's situation. Some people are saying that this is going to go down as self-defense, similar to a Kyle Rittenhouse situation where he ended up being acquitted of his charges. They're saying that the same thing applies to Karmelo Anthony here. And there are multiple fundraisers as we speak raising money for his defense. Let's take a look at the news clip and hear some words from his family and see if that lends into a little more understanding of what took place.
In that 7-page arrest warrant affidavit, several witnesses, including Metcalf's twin brother, describe how that deadly encounter went down. It also revealed that the suspect reportedly admitted to a Frisco police officer that he stabbed Metcalf.
My son is gone, and I don't really have words. I've tried to figure out what I was going to say, but he's just going to be so missed.
The pain is still raw for the Metcalf family after 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was killed on Wednesday morning at a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco.
That dude was extremely smart, always in the box. He just came to him real easy, and just him playing football as well just made him just a great person overall.
Here's what happened according to witnesses and the police report. Metcalf got into an argument with the suspect, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony, over a seating dispute in the bleachers. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move from under the team's tent.
He always was one to step up and be the person that would do the right thing. And he was doing the right thing by saying to this gentleman that you're not supposed to be in this tent. This is because they have personal items there.
Anthony opened his bag and reached inside and said to Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony and told him to move.
He knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He was just a tragedy what happened.
That's when Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest once before running away. When Anthony was taken into custody by a Frisco police officer, Anthony reportedly confessed to the crime, saying, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to," adding that, "I was protecting myself," and then asked the police officer, "Is he going to be okay?" Metcalf died in his brother's arms.
I'm not at that point to forgive and forget, but eventually I will. But I pray for his family. I pray that they understand what we're going through as well.
This was an avoidable tragedy. Okay, and they just said a whole bunch in that video that I wanted to touch on, so let me just back up a little bit. Okay, this is going to be the tents in the stands for the track meet. All right, and this M right here is going to be Memorial. So this is where Austin Metcalf and his twin brother attend. Carmelo Anthony attends a school called Centennial. So he should not have been under there, especially if there were personal belongings and stuff. He should not have been under there. Every school looks like if they had their own tent set up. But he's apparently underneath there, and that's when he's confronted by the Memorial players or Austin Metcalf. At some point, he becomes involved. Now, Karmelo was underneath their tent. He was in the wrong. They're asking him to move. Armed with a knife inside of this place. And in my opinion, he's the one that begins escalating the situation. After being asked to leave a place that he wasn't allowed to be. People are saying that there's no assigned seats at track meets. But come on, bruh. We all can see if everybody has up a tent with the school's logo and name on it, that's where you belong. You can't just go around to other places. But anyway, we know that within a short while, Austin Metcalf is stabbed in the heart. But people are online defending this as self-defense, and I just want to understand it. I mean, I don't claim to be the smartest guy in the room. Let me know down in the comment section. You have to meet force with force. You can't say that somebody was telling you to leave and that warranted him to lose his life. If you have a weapon that was used for something and you had it there illegally, I'm pretty sure that they're not gonna give you the claim of self-defense. All right, if you are driving your car and you don't have insurance and somebody hits you, I'm pretty sure that they're going to say you shouldn't have even been had the car on the road, and you're going to be the one at fault. Let me know in the comment section if I got that wrong. But if he has a knife that should not have been in there, how could people rightfully say that this was self-defense, especially when, by accounts, there was no deadly force introduced into the whole equation until Karmelo's knife?
Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony and told him to move.
He knew he wasn't supposed to be there. He was it's just a tragedy what happened.
That's when Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest once before running away.
Now, Austin was in the wrong when he grabbed Karmelo Anthony, because up until then, it had just been, speaking, and then Karmelo even says this threat right here, touch me and see what happens. At that point, he's made his threat, but he hasn't gone hands-on. Austin is the first person to go hands-on by all accounts of what I've gathered. All right, let me know if I got that wrong. He goes hands-on first. And, maybe Karmelo did feel threatened. Maybe he saw these guys, maybe he saw him with his twin brother, him with potentially other people. I'm not saying he's going to be justified, because I don't think he's going to end up getting off of this case. He will probably end up spending a good amount of his life in prison. But Austin, a valuable lesson needs to be learned here. You cannot put your hands on people. And when you do, you don't know what the response will be. And you cannot tell people what is legal or allowable in a street fight. At the end of the day, it's whether it took place at a school or it took place wherever, it's still a fight, and anything goes in a fight. And, sorry that he had to learn that. But closing out, prayers and condolences to the Metcalf family. I saw a clip where the father was saying he hopes that this case, isn't politicized. On optics, it makes for a perfect case for people that are looking to have some sort of race war, civil war happening in this country. But what are you thinking about this? Do you think Karmelo Anthony was the victim in all of this? These guys came up probably 4 or 5 deep. This guy with at least his twin brother. And they were trying to intimidate Karmelo Anthony for whatever reason it was. He was under the tent just seeking a little bit of shelter from the rain that was falling. And he felt threatened by these guys to where he thought that it would be a good self-defense move, which he told police he confessed to doing it, and he said it was self-defense for him to stab Austin Metcalf in the heart. Austin and his twin brother were known to terrorize the community, and Karmelo just wasn't going to stand for that. All right, he told them not to mess with him, that if they touched him, then they would see what happened. Austin Metcalf felt like he was in charge of the seating arrangement at the track meet, and he FA'd and FO'd. And Karmelo should get off with pleading self-defense because he did nothing wrong. Or do you think Austin Metcalf was the victim in all of this? He simply was looking out for his teammates and their belongings that potentially could have come up missing. I'm not saying Carmelo Anthony would have done it. Anybody that was under their tent that shouldn't have been there would have been confronted the same way. Because by all accounts, this guy was a leader, and that if something needed to be said to someone, he was going to be the one to do it. And Karmelo is the thug that brought the knife into the track meet for what reason other than ill intentions? Okay, what's going on with him at home that he feels the need to walk around with a knife, and not only walk around with the knife, he can actually up close and personally stab someone in the heart with that knife? Are you a person that feels like Austin Metcalf needs to have justice served for him? Or do you feel like Carmelo Anthony needs to be free? He's raised a lot of money over various fundraising accounts and stuff where people are donating money for him to be able to hire a defense attorney for this case. I personally think you should keep your hands to yourself. All right, they could have probably gone to get some sort of security or somebody that was in charge of that to remove Carmelo Anthony instead of taking forces into his own hands. And Carmelo did make the threat first, and I did say that instigated it, but he didn't put hands on anyone. It's until Austin Metcalf does that the situation really escalates. Now, as far as the court case is going to go, I think that the knife should not have been at the school grounds or at the track meet or whatever. It should not have been there. So, you know, if I go to New York and I have a gun that shoots these and I use it in a crime, you think that they're going to say, oh, well, you were defending yourself from XYZ. No, they're going to automatically look at the person that had something that shouldn't have been there as the one in the wrong. And what deadly force did Austin Metcalf present that made Carmelo Anthony feel like he had to meet force with force? Okay, even as far as guns and stuff go, you have to meet equal forces. As far as I know, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. This is not legal advice, but you have to, be justified in using that type of force. The only people that get off with using lethal force on unarmed people is the police. But either way, I'm interested to know whatever you're thinking in the comments section. Till the next video, please be safe and stay wavy.
Repetition is the father of learning.